All right, we are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the July edition of our website Throwdown. I'm joined today by two other guests who are going to be as nice as possible, but also put all their cards on the table and let things rip for the selected sites we have. Without further ado, I'm Tom DeCipio. I'm the Chief Strategy Officer and partner here at Impact. This is, I think, my third or fourth Throwdown, the first that I actually get to be the host of. So I'd love to introduce the two others on the team who are going to tackle this moving forward. And just before we get to that point, a couple of the parameters. We're probably going to spend maybe 4 or 5 minutes on each site. Give us our honest live feedback. Very few of these sites we've actually had the chance to look deeply at, so this is really candid feedback right off the bat. So hopefully it's valuable to you guys, and we'll go from there. So let me turn over the controls to our background person managing this whole process, Christine, who's in charge of all the creative at Impact for our marketing. So we're going to share the controls with her. Cool. So thank you, Christine. I'd like to mention that we have a couple special guests, like I said before. Bob Ruffalo, our CEO. Bob, say hi.
What's up, everyone? I'm very excited to be on here. It's actually my very first website Throwdown. So I've watched them, I've heard great things about them, and I'm really excited to tear apart some websites.
Yeah. I have a feeling that Bob is going to be in the middle of the road aggressive. He's a really nice guy, but when he sees something, he's going to go after it. On the other side of the coin, I want to introduce our Director of Client Services, John Bunnell, who I'm really excited to hear his feedback. But John, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Oh, yeah, hi, I'm John Bunnell. I lead up the Client Services group at Impact. Super excited to be here, my first one as well. I don't know that I will be super aggressive, Tom. I might be. I've been known to do that kind of thing in the past. So, yeah.
Awesome. All right, so we've got a lot of ground to cover in the next 57 minutes or so. So without further ado, let's jump into our first site here.
Awesome. Thanks, Tom. So I'm going to start off on SoCast here. Immediately when I first came onto this site, I think Windows XP was the term that jumped off to me, with the blue and the green in the background there. When I started digging in a little bit to the company earlier today, I really think that this company has a great strategy. They're going after a very niche market, which is radio brands, sort of like radio broadcast companies. So if we stay right up here on the hero area, one of the first things, once I was able to connect exactly who the audience is, and I tried putting myself in the seat of their target persona, I think they have a great product. From what I found, I think they have a great strategy, but I think their website completely misses their target persona. So one of the first things I would have done was probably had some kind of radio host looking really excited, really happy as the background image right up here in the hero area. And then I was, trying to get a little creative, like what would be a very strong value prop for them? And trying to see in my notes here what I came up with. Did I lose my notes here?
What'd you do?
Oh no. Well, before if I can't find that, one thing I noticed was that the video here, and Christine, if you actually can click on that, opens up in a new window in YouTube. And that's actually something that I would, if you're going to keep a video up there, have it stay embedded on your website, and that way people don't have to leave your site going to YouTube, and you want people funneling through your site, not falling to the next video that they liked on YouTube, and you've completely lost something that was just on your home page. I lost my value prop there. I apologize. But the other thing that was missing for me on this site, it was missing pop. If it's a software company, you think like Wistia, you think HubSpot, Infusionsoft, Hootsuite. You go into these sites, they look really polished. They have some pop to it, some software presence. I think that was missing here a little bit. So I would like to see that maybe tightened up a little bit, make it look a little bit more professional. So again, if you're going off like the Wistia theme, you have the video background would be great to see. A radio host and maybe something showing them engaging with their audience. That's what their product is all about, and maybe showing some screenshots of the software and how they're doing it and how they're getting results. If we scroll down a little bit, there's a call to action right here. I'm a fan of having some offers, content offers on the homepage. I think they add a lot of value. I think they make sense, especially at the very top of the funnel. But this one just didn't come off very strong to me. Probably because the button's off-centered. Picture Superman and the gorilla is probably confusing me a little bit. I would probably would like to see that a little bit more, exactly what I'm going to learn, a little bit more details, a little bit more value being presented with the offer. That way when I clicked through and I knew I was going to get higher conversion rate.
You know what distracted me there, Bob, was actually that I was trying to tie the image to the value prop above it. Like, we are the leading digital marketing platform, and I thought it was like an image that tells me about that, but it doesn't.
You're absolutely right. Maybe that's part of it too. Is my eye was playing tricks here. Definitely could use some more separators on this homepage, so a little bit more visual cues. Because you're exactly right. Even if you go up to the hero image, again, they do have a separator here, but that really should all go together. We are leading digital. I probably reword that a little bit. But that all is kind of one continuous thought, but it's separated. So I think they need to work on where they're going to put their breaks in their content.
Nice. Hey, I'm going to give you one more minute, and then we got to jump over.
Okay. Then let's go over to the blog. So they have a blog, which is great. They haven't blogged since May 26th, which is not so great. One of the things that really stood out to me too, if I was putting myself in the seat of the persona, was would an article like this really resonate with the target persona? Why social media is crucial for your radio brands? Well, whoever wrote the article was thinking about the persona. They were trying to resonate with the persona. But I think this article wouldn't get clicked on and viewed because I think they already know it's already important. They're going to skip over that. So they probably want to see more content around like how to do it or how to master it or how to get the most out of it or what other companies are doing. I think that would probably be where I would start my content strategy as I go through. They have a couple of articles I think hit it a little bit better, but that's one article that stood out to me that I think needed a little bit of work.
Nice. Hey, that was an awesome one for coming out of the gate in your first throwdown there.
Awesome.
All great points. Cool. Let's jump to the next one.
Christine.
Christine.
You having trouble clicking? Just a moment, folks.
Yeah. Oh,
There we go.
maybe your computer's catching up.
All right, there we go. We're on it.
Just a moment.
There we go.
Cool. So who wants to take this one?
Yeah, I'll take this. Okay, so law docs. Didn't really look at the site too much, but that's how I intended it. I kind of wanted to sort of be able to react to this as I'm seeing it with everybody.
Of course.
So law docs, my first impression is, what do these guys do? I think it's right in the name. They're going to prepare legal documents for me. So my first impression is it's kind of like going to the dentist, right? You gotta do some things. Getting legal documents is one of them. So I kind of pictured this in my mind, like when you first come here, what does it look like? It's sort of like the waiting room of a dentist office. I want to be a little bit more excited. I think these guys here look like something really bad is about to happen. I don't know what. Maybe a tornado. At the very least, a very bad thunderstorm.
I do like the fact that they decided to put people on their homepage, but
Yes.
I think they probably picked the wrong photo.
I think that's exactly right. I also like the fact that they're offering a free ebook right up front there. I mean, there's a lot of It looks like there's a lot of different topics they cover. When you go into the navigation, there's a lot of different types of legal documents. So I think it's hard to focus. It's hard to pick something. So just pick something. So free ebook. What I think could be done a lot better is this button scares me quite a bit. I don't think it looks like it even belongs on this website. The website looks fairly modern. It looks like it sort of stands the test of today, but the button looks like something from about 15 years ago. Yeah. And I think there's too much text on it, so that needs to be cleaned up. I also think that we could much better set up the value proposition around this free ebook. So it's 5 must-have estate planning documents, but what do I get? What am I going to learn? What are the big things I get? Why do I want to download this thing? Right. So I think we could do a better job, perhaps right above the button, setting up what it is in terms of a value prop, and again have less text on the button itself. The other thing I see right away, if you can keep scrolling down, it looks like, okay, good. Yeah, it looks like I can start my trust or start my will. So is this an automated thing? Is this like LegalZoom? I'm not sure. If it is, it did not come off that way at first, and I'm still not sure that it is. So let's click on Start My Trust. I'm not sure if they mean I can start to talk to somebody or learn how to do it or actually start it. So email me my worksheet. So I need to complete a worksheet, return it to them, and then check out. So this seems complicated. I don't really understand what the steps are up front. It looks like I've got a proceed to checkout button, but I'm supposed to fill out the worksheet first, so I'm not sure why I have a checkout button already. I just think this could be a lot more streamlined and visually maybe depicting what the steps are, where I am in the process. Mm-hmm. And I just think that it seems a little confusing. I'm kind of getting the point now that I think this is automated. I think I do this and I check out and I actually get my legal documents sent to me. That didn't hit me at first, but I think that's what this is all about.
Awesome. We got one more minute for comments on this one, John.
All right. Yeah. I mean,
that stock photo?
I think scroll back up to the top for a minute here. Is there a where'd the navigation go here? I'm on like a landing page, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't really get the idea that you're on a landing page in some fashion, right?
I actually didn't. I thought that the navigation might still be up there. It's a little bit heavy for a landing page, and I'm not sure. Again, I think this goes back to just streamlining what this thing is and how it works and where I am in the process. Mm-hmm. I wanted to check out if they had a blog. I don't know if we have time for that, but
no, we'll probably have to just jump forward. But feel free to email us your questions too after.
Can I interrupt really quick? Because I feel like I don't want to let anyone down. I did have a value prop for that first website. So SoCast, obviously our radio company. The value prop I did have was watch this go viral. I thought that would resonate with the audience. And then I had subtext after that would be using SoCast all-in-one marketing platform, hundreds of radio brands like you, and then you insert some measurable proof, have done ... see how, or take the tour. So
that's fantastic.
There we go. Sorry about that. I did have that, and I blanked on that. So.
What the heck, man? All right, let's jump over to the next site. Let's keep it going. Crosswater Spa.
Oh, right. Crosswater, I'm doing this one.
You're going to take, all right, John's going to take this one.
I'll take this one. So, what are these guys? Where's the navigation here? Okay, my first impression is, not sure what this is, lifestyle perfection, find your home. Yeah, to me this is a retirement. Whenever I see the word lifestyle, I think that's just retirement. I don't know why. It's too bad that it's become like that, but it's hard for folks that don't have retirement communities use that word. So immediately that's what I think. I think the navigation gets lost in the in this nice imagery here. although I like the imagery, I think what would work a lot better, buying a home's like a lot like buying a car, right? Like it's a big, fancy, shiny thing. I want to see what it looks like. You know, it's not like getting a mortgage where I want to learn about the bank, I want to learn what the features are. I just show me the thing, and then I'll decide if I'm going to learn about it. So I think this is kind of, you know,
Really
the
good point.
opposite of
Yeah.
your typical journey. In fact, I might even move the find your home up into that first area where you have the explore, that very small button there, the explore crosswater. I might have find your home. I want to see if I like what this big shiny thing looks like. I may want to, I've bought a lot of homes. I just, think that that's what people want to see first. Show me a picture and let me just start exploring these things. Let me see if it looks like somewhere I'd live, and then maybe I'll look at the community and look at the features and look at other things. When I look at all of the three competing calls to action down here, a home buying guide, that might be good for first-time home buyers. I'm not sure what this is exactly. That could be deprioritized. And then the cornerstone homes. So now I'm confused, because it says meet the builders. There's 2 builders here. Okay, didn't resonate with me at first what cornerstone homes were in the 10 steps to building my cornerstone home. Perhaps we could set up the fact that there are 2 builders for this community before that call to action is set up.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
John, I think that was a great point you made up at the top about the imagery. And what I look at when I see something like this, if you were to subtract some of the words and you were to look at it from a visual standpoint, which still has to communicate a message, I'm almost, and I mean this in the nicest way possible, I'm almost seeing a rehab facility. It's almost like one of those beautiful California rehab facilities where you can go and so I agree with you. There needs to be imagery of that home and words that resonate with what that actually is. You see lifestyle, but you don't really see home anywhere above in that hero image.
Right, and I'm still not positive if this is a retirement community or not. My eyes keep going to that really nice house where it says find a home. It looks like a family home. It doesn't look like it looks like somewhere where, and it actually says for you and your family. So obviously this isn't a retirement community. Can we click on where it says start now? I want to see what's behind there. Okay, so I get different models and ranges, prices. That makes a lot of sense. Is there? Oh, they do have a blog. Let's click on that blog. Okay. Yeah, I think it's unusual that a community like this would have a blog. I think it's great though, because I don't think a lot do, and I've looked at a lot of these kind of websites.
It has a tongue twister of a blog article there too.
It definitely is. More family friendly. Yeah, there's a lot of alliteration going on there.
Well, the good thing about that too is it tells you who they're targeting. Obviously, they're looking to try to attract people who may be moving to Florida or within Florida. That's kind of the thing I'm getting.
Yeah, I think for a community to have thought leadership like this is unusual. I think this needs to be brought to the front, especially if they're trying to attract people to come into the state, that kind of thing. I think this kind of content could be flowed through to the top of the site. I think it's great.
And if I could chime in here too, this is the single largest conversion opportunity improvement I see on almost every website I look at. And Tom, exactly.
I know where you're going with this. Yeah.
Right to the subscribe for the blog.
Yeah.
Subscribe for blog updates.
Why?
Why? What's the value for it? And I see this on almost every website, probably because it comes default on most blogs and HubSpot with that text. But tell the reader what they're going to get and why they should subscribe, and why, everyone says subscribe to our newsletter, subscribe to our blog, and to the reader, it's like, oh, you're just going to spam me. When you give some kind of value, you're going to get insights, you're going to get updates, you're going to get things that you're actually looking for, things you actually care about. Conversion rates will go way up.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Thanks, guys. let's move forward.
What are we
Okay,
moving?
I'm gonna take one because I haven't done one yet. So 360 destination group. Upon first impression, to me, it's reading almost like a marketing agency of some kind. Although destination is in the title, I'm not really seeing exactly what you guys do right off the bat. I see a video which I could watch, which video content is fantastic, but I have no context for what I should anticipate in watching the video. Nor do I really know what you guys do. So I'm gonna try to scroll down and see what's going on here.
I mean, it is a good reason to click on the video, though.
Yeah.
But I'm sure conversion rates would go up when you actually know exactly what you're going to say.
Yeah. Oh, we've got a slider too. Okay, so I actually just read an article from Conversion Excel that said in every case in A/B testing that sliders converted way less than a static image with a value proposition. So the first tip here, I guess I would say, is ditch the slider, get a value prop in there way above that video, and show some value right away. And as we scroll down here, I could certainly appreciate that you're trying to drive people further into the site. So it looks like we've got some calls to action on the right-hand side here. So this is actually the first semblance of where I'm gathering what you guys do. So I see a contest on the left, which I don't care about yet because I don't even know who I'm entering with. But on the right, I see looking for event space. So that to me might read partially into what you can do. And now I'm seeing a visual of a few cities. Here, you need detailed info on a destination. Okay, so you guys are going to help me determine, and make an assumption here, determine where best to host an event like that. Okay, so it's starting to come together. So what this is telling me is this information needs to be way higher on the page, and I need to be able to figure that out in 3 seconds versus, what was that, a minute and a half. Maybe I can, if you go back up, can we try going to like a services page, if there is one? What? Maybe?
You know, Tom, if I could chime in, if you go, Christine, if you go back to the homepage really quick.
Yep.
I think you're absolutely right when you said that has to go higher on the page. If you go back down to the footer, I would love to see that same graphic there, which I actually like.
Yeah.
Some animation and like slowly the planes or the helicopters moving and the balloons moving, you know, the roller coasters going, and then you have a strong value prop above that.
Yeah.
I think that would be really cool on the top of the page.
I love that idea. Cool. Let's go to what? Oh God. Okay. So this is tough. I would love to see some kind of opening paragraph that summarizes everything that you guys do. Having your core services is great, and it looks like you're trying to build SEO by having links to each one of your particular services. So let's jump into one of them. Okay. So I get it. I know what you guys are trying to do. I just think that for every, people are going to buy into why you guys do things and how you do things before the what. So I would love to see, again, if we go back to the main services, an overview of and summarizing your services in general, how they help the customer, and then kind of filter in these particular ideas into the content you're writing. And also let's bring in some more people or pictures of the location. Just like Bob was saying before, if it truly is around helping people find the perfect spot to host their event and then managing the entire process along the way, that will go miles. And it looks like you have different segments of your service as well, which are good. The other thing to do, and I know Bob would think about something like this too, is your services don't necessarily have to be pages. They could certainly be blog articles that also tie back into this page as well, so you could link back and forth. I mean, what do you guys think? I'll open it up to you. Yeah, Bob, what's that?
No, I agree with that. There's definitely a lot that could be done here in terms of bringing these services out a bit. It's a lot of text, a lot of bullet points. I'm not sure, what I'm being drawn into or why. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. At some point, sure, you need a listing of your services, but I think you need another way of going about it that follows more of a journey that entices folks to explore. And I don't think I'm really enticed to explore a bunch of bullet points.
Yeah.
They nailed their strategy as well. Just like I said in the other company, these guys have nailed their strategy. They fill a niche, a need in the market. What they do is really exciting, it seems like, and could be really portrayed as fun, but this site is just dated and boring.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that from a brand standpoint, there's a lot that they can do to get that excitement and get that offering, the way they help people out, especially on a page like this. So that would probably be my feedback.
Awesome. Cool. Let's jump to the next one, Christine.
How are we doing, guys, by the way? Is anyone using the hashtag website Throwdown? And tell us what you think so far. Give us some feedback.
I mean, we're leaving you candid and honest feedback. It's only right that you guys leave it for us. All right, who wants to do that? Who wants to rip on this one?
Yeah, I can take People Stream. I mean, my first impression is that at least above the fold right here, what I'm seeing on this page, it looks like a fairly nicely designed site. It doesn't look dated. It's clean. It's perhaps a little black and blue. It's not that exciting, but I think it at least looks clean, and I want to kind of look at what's going on here. The use of the use of the value prop here isn't real. I mean, it tells what you do, human capital management software. I don't know what that is, but I assume that, if you were within the target audience, you'd know exactly what that is. I think the CTA, though, why do I want to see more? I'm not sure why I want to see more of this thing. What is it about this that makes me want to see more? Is it better in some way? So I think that could definitely be improved upon.
I agree. I would love to see numbers up there of some sort. It seems like such a data-driven company. Even their graphics make it look like data. I'd love to see, some kind of numbers on what you can achieve with the software like this.
That's a great point. And I think, like, looking on the right-hand side too, kind of to John's point, and seeing more value next to the button. So somebody doesn't really immediately want to get a demo. They really want to know what's going to happen inside of that process. And in reading a ton about sales and process materials, people care so much about what that process is actually going to be that you should help them out and tell them how the demo helps them take steps towards the next step.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think you need to think in terms of, what do I get if I do this? Why would I do this? Sure, I'm going to see your latest human capital. I hope it's the latest. I don't want to see anything that's not the latest. But actually, if you scroll down a bit, I think, because I was seeing another orange button.
Check out last year's version.
Right. That may be unnecessary to say latest.
Yeah.
I knew it. I was seeing a second orange button. Now I'm seeing 4. So I think you got a lot of competing things going on here at very different stages in the journey.
Yeah, great point.
Am I going to get a white paper? Is that more upfront? Am I going to learn something? Am I ready for pricing? Am I ready for a demo? I think you got a lot of things are competing here. So it doesn't seem like you're taking me through a very streamlined type of journey. You're kind of throwing everything out here and letting me decide where I am and what I want to do. So I think there could be huge improvements there.
I can see the thought process behind this, though, because the offers there all go in order, starting at the bottom as the most top of the funnel, and then you get more bottom of the funnel as you go up. So somebody put some thought into their buyer journey on that side. So I think it's just presentation from that standpoint.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Absolutely. And then keep scrolling down. There's a video there which I like. I think it's positioned in the right place.
I'd probably lose the Vimeo though if you could put maybe on embed that. And then
I would agree with that. Embed that.
Using Wistia would give you more analytics as well.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Let's go to the top and just look at that navigation. Right. What happens if we go under services? And I just want to get beyond the home page. Go to the first. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, without going to a lot of other pages on this site, it's extremely text heavy. It doesn't really, it's more and more text, more and more bullets. Doesn't really entice me, doesn't draw me in. I've got all those same calls to action over on the right. I think it's extremely text heavy and not streamlined in terms of what it is you want me to do.
Yeah, I think for a particular service page like this, there really should be one goal at the end of the page. So obviously there's got to be some content that creates some sort of, helps them understand, what their need is or speaks to that specific pain point. But at the bottom, is it necessary for them to see all of those calls to action, or is there one element that if somebody reads about project management on your site that they should be taking? Maybe it's a particular white paper based on these facts here. And the cool thing is I'm not sure if these guys are using HubSpot, but if you had some kind of smart content to say that if somebody who had frequented the site before had come back and they had already downloaded one of your white papers, you could perhaps show them a different, maybe it is the demo at that point, or maybe it is time for them to show what the pricing looks like.
So if you guys aren't using the hashtag, you should. I was reading off a couple of tweets here. Our friend Ozil Perez says, I absolutely despise web pages that have just a paragraph about a service and that's it. Come on, they can do better. Semi-sad face. Hashtag Throwdown.
Nice.
And Lingo Central says, great point on demonstrating value with social proof with the People Stream site. Hashtag website Throwdown.
Nice.
So keep sending those tweets and I'll try to read a few more if I can remember to squeeze those in.
Perfect. That was a perfect spot to it, especially for the content one.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, let's jump forward. Thank you, Christine. DM training.
DM training. Okay.
Oh, okay, Bob's
all right. I'm going to take this one.
Yeah, go for it.
So this is a training company. From what I understand, they train large workforces, definitely in the digital media space, competitive selling. They actually have the three listed right down there. But it's a training company. I think the biggest thing that you can see missing from this homepage, and if we scroll all the way down as a preview, there's no people. There's no people.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go back up to the hero area. I don't really understand what a beautiful blurred picture of the New York skyline has to do with the training. I know you guys are located in New York. Maybe that was a thought process there. But I would love to see a picture of training happening there. A bunch of people, professionals, smart-looking people that are engaged and they are learning. In fact, if you go over a couple of tabs and go to one of the next sites that we're doing, the New York Business Expo, Christine, I would love to see a picture looking like this right on the homepage for DM training.
Okay.
So I know we're still a sneak preview there, but I think something like that in the hero area would be great.
Nice.
Then I was thinking value prop for them, and I'm thinking, what's going to resonate? And I thought, with the target persona, and I didn't do persona research here, but I thought a headline like, your employees will love you, ... and then follow that up by, when you provide them the digital media training they need to make your organization successful. And then you kind of tie that in with pulling it all together, some kind of numbers. I love numbers on home pages. Successful training to over 100,000 of the brightest talent at thousands of New York's top companies, something like that. Learn more or see our success stories. So that would be one of the first things I would tack on this homepage. And really, you could tell the entire story really just right in that hero area. What do you guys think of that?
Yeah, that's awesome.
That makes sense.
Cool. Let's go over to resources. I did quickly look at this site, this page here before. They're doing something really, really well here. And as a content marketer, I love these headlines. Maybe because, again, I love numbers. I love numbers in content titles. 5 ways digital marketing applies to sales. I think that's something that probably would resonate with their target persona. 3 questions to ask before investing in sales training. Before you invest, it's great middle of the funnel content. So I think they absolutely crushed their content topics here. I'm going to assume that the content inside there is probably really good. I sure hope it is. But the presentation of this page just makes all the offers kind of look boring. I mean, just a visual look on it. I don't think it's going to hurt them that much, but I'd love to see it laid out a little bit more where these offers look a little bit more polished, a little bit more professional, a little bit more well thought out, maybe a little description of what's in there, maybe some bullets. Then they have call to actions here to kind of all blend in, maybe make those look a little bit more like buttons, or even just make it even easier and try to skip a step and let them convert right there. But I just love the fact that they have all these topics and they did a really nice job there.
Awesome.
And let's just go over to the blog. One of the first things I always look at is the last time they blogged, and Molly, congratulations, you blogged today, so I immediately already like you. The next 3 next step strategies to help create sales momentum. Awesome. Again, I think, Molly, if you're doing the content marketing over there, whoever else is on the content marketing team, keep doing what you're doing. I think you guys are doing a great job, at least picking out titles, topics that are going to resonate with your target persona. One thing there's a few things I would change here. I mean, this is a little bit of an old school HubSpot style blog. One big thing I would do is I would put a read more in with your content, because I can go to your blog and I can read all your articles and I don't have to click through. But as the person on the other side, you, the marketer, you don't get the stats to see exactly what pages people viewed. When they click in, it goes onto your contact record, and you can say, oh, this person read an article about strategies to help create sales momentum. This one read an article about this and this. And you start building up a little bit of a business case for somebody when you do want to connect with them on the phone. So I would make sure that read more is in there. And of course, there's a subscribe to email newsletter or whatever that says. I can't read the bottom of it. There you go. Subscribe to email updates. Create some value there. What exactly? I can see a little bit more on this page because I can read the content titles that are here. But I would just give me exactly when can I expect articles to be released. Is it daily? How many other people are subscribing to your content? Give me some other value. So I want to do it.
Nice. All smart feedback. I love it. Cool. Let's stop there on DM training. Let's bounce to the next one here. The Collingwood Group. Who wants to jump in on that one?
Yeah, I'll take a look at this. Okay, so Collingwood Group. Why
Centered
does
logo.
the logo take up so much room?
Yeah.
The logo is literally way too big. It's pushing down all of the content on the page. So that's a no-brainer right there. Fix that. When I get beyond that, though, and I start looking at the site, I mean, obviously the site, it just looks really dated. It doesn't look like a site my kids make in, just using a theme or whatnot from WordPress or Squarespace or anything that is available. I think 5th graders are making sites that look far more modern.
There it is. We've been waiting for that one.
This is a really old website. And then the stock photography with the tree and everything. So anyway, enough about design. Let's look at the content here. So we grow and protect our clients' businesses, business advisory developments. I mean, it says what they do, but there's nothing for me to do here. What do I do? There's no call to action. Where do I click? What is it that they want me to do? I don't see it. I'm not sure what to do right now. Let's look at, obviously they have a blog, The Voice of Housing. That's great. Some fairly recent articles in here, not as not blogging as often as we'd like to see, but at least it's, there's something from this month. Let's click into that.
Hey, John, but before we jump into that, I just wanted to say that there's one thing that irks me about value propositions, and that's starting with we. I think the value proposition has to be all about the customer. I'm okay with almost like a payoff statement of after that, but I would love to see a statement that says something just right about the clients versus what we do internally,
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with that. The we and the I is it's just, it's about you, not the customer. Exactly what you said. Yeah. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do here. I would probably stay on this site for only a few seconds because there's nothing for me to do.
Now, John, you have experience in this industry. So how does this site line up with other sites that are in the same vertical? Are they doing a lot of the same things that all the other companies are doing?
No, I think I think that these kind of organizations have a ton of experts. They've got a ton of thought leadership.
They have compliance issues, but they have a lot of experts.
They have a lot of experts. I think positioning that expertise, bringing some of that. That's why I wanted to click through the blog to see what it might say. But I think positioning some of that stuff so that this is how you're coming off. You're coming off as immediately telling me what your opinions are on something and why I should want to read that. That's the kind of thing that the persona is looking for here, and that's why I would pick a firm like this because of the people that are there. This is professional services, right? So I don't need to see some big shiny object. I just need to understand that you guys have something to say, and perhaps also, positioning what some of your clients, your case studies, your success stories, that kind of thing. That's how this is being done, and that's how it's being done where folks are successful.
Nice. Good question. Good question, Bob. Good answer, John.
Awesome.
All right.
And these guys are blogging, which is great. There's a reason to not be excited about housing. Okay.
That sounds pretty cool. I mean,
yeah, I would click through it. I think it's a little bit persona-centric.
Right.
I was gonna say prove it. And there you go.
Right. There's some video content here. Looks legit. There's there's, as I said, there's probably real expertise, and these guys probably have some really great stuff to say. I just didn't get that impression immediately.
Awesome.
Cool.
All right, let's jump to the next one. We've got just over 15 minutes. New York Expo. So Bob, you called this one out earlier, so I'm gonna let you take it.
Great. I just realized my battery's at 16%, so hopefully.
Good luck.
I should have brought my charger in here. Anyways, yes, so I am familiar with this site. I am familiar with this group. It is a trade show or a business expo that they do in New York. I did say originally I like the background picture, and I do. I like it a lot. The only thing, it probably is a little bit more applicable for DM training, but here my only issue is that the event looks really small and almost makes it look like they're hiding with curtains the rest of the empty room.
Yeah, that's a good point. I
love the animation of the speaker. I love the way the 40 people in the crowd are all paying attention, but I think it made the show look a little bit small. What else we got here? I always ask whenever I see an event show, and actually, Christine, you're scrolling right past my point, so we can go back to thank you. I always look for the date, because some conferences they may have ran once and then they're not running again. I would have a lot more confidence in this company and the site if they said October 27th, 2015. So I know this is a site that didn't pass. It's not last October, it's the upcoming October. And it's also not October 2009. So I would add that small tip there. This call to action, join our email list, is just completely out of place. I get why you want that. You want the email addresses, but basically what you're doing is you're saying, please give us your email address so we can spam the crap out of you. I think people are already going to have a preconceived notion that if they sign up, what is the value for joining that list? What are you going to get? Did John's computer just die too? Okay. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I think Google Hangout just sucked the battery out of my computer. All right, if we scroll down on this page, this next section, the blue area here, Christine, yeah, thank you. These stars are, they look like they're not filled. They almost look like they were, like leave a review, like if you hover over, they would turn yellow or gold, and that you get a review, and it looks like you have no stars. So I wasn't a big fan of these stars here. I would, if you have them, you may as well make them all yellow or gold. The testimonials there, although are pretty good, there's some of them, like this one here is a little bit long, maybe call out certain words, but there's no source for these. So how credible are them? If you could actually get a name of an attendee or somebody that was part of the show and what their location and their, you know, it'd be even better if it was somebody that had some credibility to it, like a CEO of a startup that people in the area would know, talk about how great the show is. I think that would go miles. Speaking of credibility, Christine, if you scroll up a little bit, the region's #1 business conference, trade show, networking event says who. And I think that's the other thing, is that when you're making claims like that, make sure you back it up with some kind of facts. Were you written up in the New York Times? Why are you the #1 business conference in the region? The last thing to add in, and I took over Tom's microphone so he can't interrupt me, and I can say whatever I want. If you go up to the blog, I had some concerns there. First here, there's some formatting issues. I'm not a big fan of why the title got pushed off, and likable, is that an ad? I'm kind of confused. That is the picture for the blog. I'm just not sure how they position that. I also noticed that they stopped blogging in October. If you scroll down a little bit, you see there's probably 3 or 4 articles all around the same time period, and then it just stopped. And I guess after the show, they said, you know what, let's put our attention to something else, and we'll just let this thing die, which they shouldn't have done. If we go all the way up to the likable media, and I get likable as a sponsor, and they said, well, if we're going to sponsor, we want to be on your blog, and we want to put an ebook there because we want leads, right? I mean, makes sense. Inbound marketing 2011, that's what everyone was doing. If you click in, though, the marketer, whoever put this on the blog, put no effort in. They literally left it as buy likable media. Description, this. Download here, and they put a URL. Didn't really tell a story. Didn't really make a blog article. It just kind of plopped it on there.
It's terrible.
It's terrible. It didn't do a lot of justice for likable, and it didn't really add any value to your audience. So, all right, I'm going to pass the headphones back over here to Tom, and I'm going to go plug in my computer, and I will join you guys back here in a second.
Oh, we're always having fun. Awesome. All right, Christine, let's see if we can get through these next ones in the next 10 minutes. We've got, what, 2 or 3 to go? First person. Okay, so these guys, we've actually done some digital projects with first person before. So this is going to be cool. Let's run through their site here. And all right, so first thing I want to say is looking at the value prop. And I know we spend a lot of time on these, but I know that as a business person that assessments and analytics and results are important. I just don't know in what industry you're targeting. Are these assessments important to me, or are they important to a retail store? I just can't really tell right off the bat. So I'd love to see a little more clarification in the main value proposition. Now I'm sure you're trying to pay it off in that smaller sub-statement, but in the first split second, if I can't see that resonates with me, I'm probably going to hit the back button.
Yeah, I think, Tom, I would agree. I mean, I just read what's down there, and it does actually say it's pre-hire talent assessment solutions. That is what they do. But I thought the same thing. I thought, am I getting marketing analytics? That's what I think, because we're an agency, and my mind immediately goes to that industry. So, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I love, one thing that I do love here is that you have some social proof just below the value proposition. It's so, it's so compelling to see that if you guys are credible enough to be in the Wall Street Journal, that there's something to you guys, that you've been around the block before, that you're published and you're worth working with. So let's scroll down a little bit more.
Just before you do that, it was just occurring to me, up at as I read that, the pre-hire, I want to see people right away. This is about people, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think I saw those are some hands there. I don't know. Like I think that would go a long way.
That's a fantastic point. I think some of these graphics are really nice, but like John said, I would love to see more personality in this site here. And if we stop here, one thing I'm noticing is we've got a bunch of different styles of buttons. And when you think about buttons, you want to think about hierarchy, you want to think about importance. Where should my eye be drawn? Where should I really be clicking? And some of the best practices here are to use a standardized button for something that might be maybe top of the funnel, something that might be middle of the funnel, and something that is, I'm going to talk to somebody right now. So I'm noticing that we just have this giant open button look, and I'd love to see more hierarchy within that space. Let's keep going down here. And there's Bob. He's back.
Guys, I apologize. I'm so embarrassed. I looked up and I was like, whoa, that's going down really fast.
So I absolutely love this section, and I think, again, like I was saying before, social proof is so key. So I would love to see, you guys have some amazing clients down there. That needs to be right at the forefront. Let's bring that right up to the top of the page. You've worked with Dish and Enterprise, and just seeing those is going to attract others and speak to others who are in a similar, maybe Fortune 2000 space or around that size. But this is monumental, and I think if you guys take a look afterwards, a great example of that is a company called Envision App, who right at the top of their screen has logos from some amazing companies using their software. So get this right up to the top. I think that's so huge. And let's scroll down a little bit more. So this is great. This helps to segment. I mean, this to me is really helping to segment where I need to go in your site and what I should really care about. So I think that's a nice job there. Let's click into one. Okay. So I'm a little confused on this page on exactly what I'm reading here. I see contact center, outsourcer. Is this a process? Christine, can you hover over one of those things so it doesn't highlight? Yeah, I would love to see some more value dependent on the content inside there. I'm not sure why I should be reading it, I guess. And can we scroll down?
I'll tell you, one of my biggest pet peeves on websites was on the header there. They're called hangers when there's one word that goes to the last line.
Oh, you hate that.
I absolutely hate hangers. If any of my guys here are listening, if any of you guys can hear me, I hate hangers.
Let's jump down to the bottom and see what we've got here. Is there any payoff? Good. Okay, so we do have some kind of a call to action that says, all right, you've gotten through our content, which actually was not as easy as it should be, but here's the next step, right? So the next step in the process is talk to somebody here.
John, what do you think of this?
I like this. I think this is pretty clean. We're here to help. You know, I like the way the form is set up horizontally like that because it takes up less space. Yeah, I think it's fairly well done.
Cool. I like it too.
Nice.
I like it too. I feel like something's missing, and I can't put my finger exactly what's missing there. You know, maybe breaking up "We're here to help," "Speak with a talent" to two different lines. But maybe I'm just nitpicking.
Yeah, there's probably small things like the button that says submit might have, you know, something, you know, that tells a little bit more about what's happening. Just trying to get away from the download and the submit and the learn more and making it much more action oriented towards, you know.
Well, you know, John, this is a good time to talk. You know, you advised Ramona and I to make some changes on our Talk to Us page, which is a very similar type form. One of the things you suggested that we do was to add a blue highlight to the box that you're on. This doesn't have it, but maybe it should. Can you tell us why that was so important?
Yeah, it's really.
It looks like we've got a red highlight on there.
Oh, is it? Okay,
Maybe a red highlight.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's all the little things that add up, right? It's really not important just by itself, but when you'd follow all of the best practices and everything comes together, it becomes something that's much better if you didn't do any of these things. So taking the word submit out of there, putting the highlight on, you know, the way you're handling errors, all these types of things. Just if everything's done right, then it just gives, I think, a lot more credibility to the brand. And folks don't even realize it. You don't even realize it's going on. You just, in your mind, you just think that this thing looks professional. It looks right.
You just brought up a good point. I just realized that says submit. Maybe that's one of the other things that's bothering me. That doesn't say exactly what I'm going to get. We're here to help. Speak with a talent selection specialist to answer all of your questions. Is this going to start a live chat? Is this going to be requesting a call? And I think that's exactly what this is. It's requesting a call. So even if that button just simply said request a call or request a call back, you at least know the action that you're getting or the offer you're getting here.
Exactly.
Nice. So we have 2 minutes, and it looks like we have to get through one or two more sites here. So let's jump forward.
Awesome job.
Awesome. And I'm gonna start off with one now. All right, editage. Well, I have to say I'm actually quite impressed on first look here. So in looking at just the value proposition area, this site seems really targeted to me. And when I see research, publication, success, that speaks right to me if I'm in you know, one of these particular areas and I'm looking for this you know, type of service here. What I can see is that you know, it looks like they're more in the scientific or medical space. So seeing something like that is really important, and I can also see right away how many people they've already helped. That's fantastic. I mean, if there's nothing more that makes me want to click through on something, it's something like that. You know, when I think I lose the thunder is when I see imagery, and I know we keep talking a lot about imagery, but it's so important. To me, that's not a picture of success. To me, it's a picture that would work better for maybe a software that shows all the different features that it does. And I'd almost like to go back to maybe, again, some people working together or somebody sitting down and working on a document that looks thrilled or has received a document or received an award and really has more compelling statement about it, right? The other thing, too, is, Christine, can you hover over one of the buttons, like Order Now or Get Started? So I can't tell, but in many cases, you can sometimes see if a link is being tracked or not, and I don't see any tracker. You can see in the bottom left of Christine's screen, it's just the link. So there's no, I don't see a tracker on it. So how do you know how many people are clicking that or using some of these buttons on the page? That's incredible marketing data that you could be leveraging to helping get people to click through. Maybe it's the verbiage.
Maybe it is there, but we just don't see it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's there, but we just can't see it. So let's scroll down a little bit more.
I do love the numbers on the top of the page there, though. That's really,
Yeah.
really helpful.
How can you argue with that?
That's awesome.
Let's see.
Okay, one thing that's nitpicky for me,
Yeah.
lawyers do this a lot. I hate when font is fold justified, like you have those 4 boxes there. To me, it just puts all the spacing out of whack. Every time I've had a document come back from a lawyer and it's fold justified, I always send it back to left justified. I don't know if it's nitpicky or not, but that's something I would change because it just makes it look a little funky.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's something that they do in the publication industry. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But that's good. Let's scroll down to this section here. Again, more social proof. It's so powerful, and the homepage is a perfect spot for that. My trouble with this is I'm not seeing a lot of separation between what I should be reading. So it looks like these lines of content are almost running into each other. And it's troublesome because the content is so valuable. I'm just picturing maybe a big blue box behind the trusted by 72,000 plus authors, with maybe some white content popping off here, and really isolating how important that is. And then as you scroll down, you can see that these authors just kind of roll right into the expertise, where I think there needs to be better communication between those two pieces, and maybe a little bit more separation. But again, I can't really fault. I mean, this is excellent, the fact that you're able to show profiles of people who are helping your customers. Now let's scroll down a little bit more. So again, I'm kind of fighting with this idea of separation. I'm not really sure where I'm supposed to be reading next. I know that you guys are trying to be part of something greater, so you've got some initiatives going on here. Again, I think that deserves its own area and its own segment on this homepage. What do you guys think? I'll open it up.
Yeah, I agree with that. I can't tell where one section stops and the next section begins. It's all just sort of squished together, and it doesn't cause your eye to really distinguish between the different things that are going on here.
The fonts are really small. I know that was really stylish. Even Tom, when you first started with Impact, you liked a very small font. That's what a lot of designers were taught in school. But that fad's kind of out, and I would make that more of a legible text across the board.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Christine, is there one more in there?
I think that's it.
Is that it? Okay.
So just another tweet here, going back talking about first person. Ellie Cleary says, hashtag website throwdown, first person website doesn't display on mobile device well. How critical is that to prioritize for business? So we didn't talk about mobile at all. We didn't actually make any of these sites test it for responsiveness. I think it's
you know what we should do on our next throwdown is do mobile only throwdown.
Responsive edition?
Yeah, responsive edition.
I want to do a blog throwdown.
Yeah.
Just throw down blogs.
Well, let's answer her question.
That'd be good.
So who wants to take that
for
one? John, how important is having a mobile friendly site?
In my mind, extremely important. I don't think any sites, I don't care who you are, today should be built that aren't responsive. It's just what you do.
Yeah.
There's different degrees of responsiveness. I mean, the first person site isn't completely non-responsive. I just think that it doesn't. A lot of things don't line up, and there's no suppression of certain content items, things like that.
Yeah.
I think that now we're designing everything to be responsive.
One thing I always advise clients is people use devices differently. When they use their laptops or computers, desktop versions, they tend to do a little bit more research, a little bit more browsing, bouncing around. When they get more on their mobile device or their smartphone, usually they're looking for quicker intentions, especially when you're dealing with a B2B website. Usually when you're on that site, you're looking for information quick or you're looking to take an action quick. So it makes sense sometimes to shorten your marketing messages and get right to the point, like a landing page, remove a lot of the content, get right to the form. And obviously this is important because it's all about the buyer's journey. It's not really about what you want to say. So I think that's another way of looking at mobile.
I love it.
Cool.
I don't know if I can add too much more value to that because that's pretty accurate. I think that one thing we could say is just a mobile-first mentality, right?
We're over here, but one other thing I think we need to add to the show as we keep going is I'm thinking about PTI, Pardon the Interruption, on ESPN, and they go through and they do this. But at the end of the show, they have the stat guy go on and tell them everything where they were wrong. So I'd love to see if there's any, go back here and say, actually, you shouldn't say this or you shouldn't do this because of X, Y, Z, and be like, oh, that's a really good point. So I wonder if we could find some way to add some of that PTI style at the end of these website throwdowns. So
I love it. I know I made a bold claim at the beginning about how sliders never convert better than static images. Prove me wrong.
Exactly. Well, or use the hashtag. Let the Twitterverse decide.
Yeah.
Hashtag website throwdown.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So yeah, you guys are right. We're over a little bit, but I think it was absolutely important, and this was great. So I wanted to just thank everyone for joining us for our July edition of the Impact Website Throwdown. We are certainly going to be having more of these, and we're going to expand into different other sites. So like we were saying before, we might do a responsive throwdown, or we might do just blogs. But there's a lot that we can tackle in this, so definitely stay tuned. Thank you to Bob and John for showcasing some of your throwdown talents. And of course, thank you to Christine for managing this entire process and keeping us sane and getting everything set up. Awesome job, guys, and looking forward to
social media too. Don't forget about Ramona.
Ramona for social media too. Much love.
Carolyn also helped out with a lot of promotional stuff today as well. So thank you to everyone.
Awesome. Yes. Well, thank you, everyone, and we're looking forward to next time. Take care.
And actually, before we go, Tom, are we still live?
No, we're still live.
We're still live. Okay, she just turned off the screen. Oh, okay. Good. But that URL is just on the screen too. Was impactbnd.com/talk. So if you want to talk to one of us about your website, you want a more personalized throwdown, and start talking about, hey, it's back. If you want a more personalized website throwdown, you can request any of the three of us, and we'll be happy to give you a more personalized throwdown and help you identify opportunities that maybe you're missing. So go to that URL, fill out the form, and we'll be on the phone with you very, very shortly.
Right on. All right. Thanks, everyone. Take care.
Bye.